Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series, the Deluxe Death's Head. Now this one is not actually a San Diego Comic-Con. It is, however, a first to market at San Diego Comic-Con. So when it was first revealed, it was kind of thought it was going to be exclusive to San Diego Comic-Con with limited quantities available on Hasbro Pulse at a later date or whatever. Turns out you're probably going to be able to get this guy through all the fan channels and potentially even Amazon. Has not really fully been explained, but that is to my understanding of what is going on with this figure. So if you were not able to attend San Diego Comic-Con, have no fear. You should be able to get your hands onto Death's Head. You should be able to order it at a later date. Stay tuned for all my social channels, particularly Instagram, for any pre-order information that may go up. So if you didn't get Death's Head, don't worry, you should be able to get it. But I was at San Diego Comic-Con. I was able to pick mine up on preview night. So I'm pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome to have it. So if you look at the box, very different from what we've got. This is basically replicating the old Marvel trading card. So here, Ryan Ting was giving out a few of these. So he was able to give me one, which was awesome. That first night I got to see him. And he, guess what? He gave me number 24 out of 24. So he had 24 of these trading cards to give out. And I got number 24, MCU Collector 24. So thank you, Ryan, for giving me the Death's Head. As you can see, the box is replicating the trading card. And then actually the side artwork looks very similar, not quite the same. But looking at the back of the package as well, we got the power ratings and things like that. There, the bio isn't exactly, it pulls out some of it from the card and kind of rearranges some stuff. So that's pretty cool that we got that there. So Death's Head, let's go ahead and take him out of the box and let's see how he looks. We'll do a comparison with Death's Head 2. But first, let's check out Death's Head 1. Okay, so here is the tray I just wanted to show you guys. They packed him in every freaking which way they possibly could to kind of maximize on the space. So, separate tray there for all the accessories that Death's Head comes with. Okay, so here's Death's Head out of the package. He comes with a few different accessories. He's got some extra hands. He's got a shield. The figure is bulky and pretty crazy looking. There's one gripe that I'm going to have. I want to get it out of the way while I have it here. So these weapon pieces can swap onto his wrists, so in place of hands. But the axe is very rubbery, so it's kind of weird, like pegging in the axe because it's so rubbery. I feel like I'm gonna rip it. Like, it's very thin here where the axe and the handle come together. I feel like I'm gonna end up ripping this rubber right off. I know you could just see how rubbery and thin it is. So pegging it on there, it's like you're just like bending it and stuff. It's just kind of weird. Maybe I could just like set it in there and it'll actually decently hold without pegging it all the way. But that'd be like my only gripe. The same thing's, whoops, that one flying. The same thing's gonna kind of go for these other ones. You got this mace here. It's a little spiky. It's all fairly soft, but it's still pretty spiky. Kind of the same thing. You gotta like the way this wrist gauntlet piece is. You gotta grip it in a way where you're not holding on to the spikes. And it's not gonna lie. It's not the easiest of tasks to do. I guess if you put your fingers between the spikes and then just push down, yeah, I guess that's not so bad. But it's cool that you can do that. It's just the rubberiness of it is kind of weird. So that's all we got there. But let's go ahead and get in for a closer look at the figure, and we'll take a closer look at the accessories. That third piece is gone. I can't find it. Hopefully I can find it here. I don't know where it went. Okay, so an up-close look at Death's Head. So just, like, real quick, Death's Head originally appeared in a Transformers comic through Marvel UK. So it's pretty crazy. But anyway, he's a robotic bounty hunter, but I guess he prefers being called a freelance peacekeeping agent and superhero. And then he adds yes to the end of all of his sentences, so kind of interesting. But looking at him, looks really good. The eyes are painted nicely. You could tell that he looks, obviously, from his body, is robotic, but, the eyes are not like normal eyes in there. One thing that is nice about the figure, we get some cool paint in certain areas. Like, I don't know if these are supposed to be like bullet holes or blast holes, but each one gets a little bit of paint in there to kind of show the weathering and things, stuff like that. But throughout the figure, the body, we don't get any paint. So like his head is a very light gray plastic. I don't care for it. I would have liked a darker gray. Like even the arms are a little bit better than the head. You see the head is just very light compared to the arms. Same with the legs, like the knees are kind of like the head. Just that very light gray that I don't really care for. I wish it would have gone, you know, a little bit darker in color. He's got red horns in there, and then like his boots also have some red horns. But I wanted to talk about like the different areas of the weathering. So each spot where there's like that bullet hole or a little blast hole gets a little bit of black wash paint in there. So like right there on the shin, there on the ankle, the same on the other foot right there. He does not have a second one on this particular leg, so it's cool that we get that in addition to like the shoulder pads on there, so that is pretty cool. The texture of the cape is pretty awesome. We get a little bit of tears, holes in the back of the cape, so that is pretty cool. So the figure itself is just pretty menacing. He's pretty large. I will do a comparison with some other figures so you guys can see, but paint wise it looks pretty good. The yellow over the red, it's not perfect, but it's not terrible by any means. There on the blue looks okay. The back of the hands get some like yellow horns, or little spikes, I mean horns, that wouldn't make sense, little spikes on the hands. We get an extra set of hands, so we have one grip hand for the left, and that has a vertical hinge. Then we have like one open gesturing hand, or maybe he was throwing his shield hand, standard horizontal hinge there. And then we get, I lost one. We get an extra set of fists as well. So we have those hands, so one extra set of hands. We got the shield here, and the shield is cool. It's just done in a gray color with a little bit of yellow on there, but we get some cut slash marks in there that look pretty good. So they actually added in like silver paint in there. It doesn't look like it was just like no yellow paint. It looks like a nice silver paint in there. So that is cool. You can see he has a grip, and then he's got little clips in there, so you can actually clip in the different accessories that he comes with. So there's kind of a certain way you would have to do this. I guess the mace can go on either side, cannot go in the middle, because this one has the shortest length to be able to go right there because of that peg hook that's going to go onto his back. And then the axe could go, you know, on its side. And you could either put it on this one or you could put it on the other one, but you know, you can only grip it in a certain spot where it's going to fit. So it's kind of crazy how you could do that. But then you could plug it into his back like so, and then he could store his different weapons. So that it's a nice touch that you can do that, and then, you know, swap out the hands as needed or whatever, and you could do that. So that is pretty cool. And then you take the weapons right back off. And then it's got the grip, so you can grip it in the hand, so you can put it in his hand like so, and he can hold this shield. And then, as you can see, the way the handle is, you could also grip it in his hand this way on the shield. So depending on how you need to hold it and display it and do things, he can grip it either way. So definitely a nice touch there. The nice metallic blue in his hands, the gauntlet pieces, as well as the boots. Lots of weathering and damage, as you can see here. There's no paint added to them, but some nice cuts and stuff in there, so that looks really good. Get in for a closer look at that. Yeah, nice little damage sculpted in. And that belt skirt piece is a free-flowing piece in there. His hip piece is that nice metallic blue. So yeah, there we have Death's Head. So now let's go ahead and zoom out for his articulation. Okay, so Death's Head's articulation. So the head is on a disc hinge, and I just popped that head right off by mistake. So you can look up that much, which is good. He can look down that much there, so full range of motion there. You can go side by side. Not any pivot going on there. I forgot to mention this on the close-up, but the shoulder pads, they are glued in with the cape on the back of the figure, so it's not glued down or in the front or anything, so you can kind of move it around. It provides, you know, additional flexibility as you want to kind of move the figure around. So we have that there. Anyway, shoulders can go straight on out like so. You get full rotation in those shoulders there. You got an upper bicep swivel, single jointed elbow, so only, you know, straight out. And then you get just under 90 degrees, perhaps. You know, we got that gauntlet piece, but it is single jointed. I think these are the same elbows, same arms as Colossus. I'd have to double check. Death's Head 1, or I mean, excuse me, Death's Head 2, the first Death's Head release, had the same upper arms and shoulders. The lower arms are not the same, but the same upper arms in there. So single jointed elbow. We get an ab crunch on this guy, so he can crunch forward. Let's see if the belt is in the way with that. Death's Head can crunch forward that much, not bad. He can go back, probably too much, but with the cape, it's not actually going to work there. We do have a waist swivel in there. Legs go out that far apart. The skirt piece kind of stops that a little bit, as you can see there. He can kick forward that far, which is good. It does not go back whatsoever on that leg. You got an upper thigh cut in there, double jointed pinless knee. Let's get that top bend in there. It doesn't want to bend. There we go. Double jointed pinless knee, like so. So we know the legs are new because they are pinless. We get a boot swivel in there. Those spikes on the side of his boots are a little pokey. Be careful there. Then foot hinges down all the way. You get some hinge up, but the foot hits that top of that shin guard there. Ankle pivot, pegals at the bottom of the feet. So pretty good articulation for Death's Head. He is a big boy. So, you know, there is some limits to certain things like in his arms and stuff. But I think he can move around pretty fairly. Okay, and kind of posing Death's Head around and kind of moving the accessories and doing some things. So, you know, he can get his shield. He's ready to go on the attack. When turning his head, however, as you can see, his chin really hits his big-ass shoulder pads. So you might want to think about that and how you kind of move him around. He's got the mace there. And then, you know, you could swap around the things as you needed. I did forget to talk about the articulation on the wrist. During the articulation point, I had mentioned earlier, you know, the grip holding hand for the left does have the vertical hinge. All the other hands have the standard horizontal hinge, you know, the open hand and then the two fists. But you can get crazy with it with Death's Head, so he can, you know, have, you know, I don't know what this is. I don't know if that's like a bludgeon. I don't know if it's like a missile, if he can shoot that out of his hand. It looks like it could be a missile, but it could just be, you know, blunt force item kind of thing. So we've got the mace. You can move those around. You can put the axe on there. So the axe. And again, the axe is the most rubbery, so it feels weird just kind of swapping that one around, you know, as needed. But it's cool, the different things, the different combinations that you could do. So you could, you know, have that axe ready to go, you know, get the shield on there and stuff. It does suck, however, that he only has the one grip hand for the shield, so you can't really do it on his right hand, only on the left. But, you know, I guess it is what it is. But it's cool, the different combinations that you can have. Other than just kind of having some fun, since we have kind of that open hand, it looks like he could have been throwing his shield. I just using a Hasbro Pulse Flight stand there just to kind of put it off in the background there. And that could be a little fun, something to do, you know, with photography. I know a lot of folks can, you know, do perspective and things like that to kind of change it up. But there we go. So fun that you can swap around these different accessory pieces, you know, and he's got some fair movement, so he looks really good. Let's see how he compares to Death's Head 2. Okay, so here we have Death's Head and Death's Head 2. So from kind of what I read, not being real familiar, the original Death's Head was beheaded and then the personality put into a cyborg, and the cyborg at some point eventually turned into Death's Head 2. So that would kind of explain there. So completely different look, completely different body, and things like that. So as you can see there, Death's Head 2. This figure was pretty crazy at the time because he was kind of large. You know, there wasn't really, you know, I don't think there were deluxe releases even at that time. So when we got a big figure like this, we're like, oh, look how cool and big he is. So it's there. So some similarities, obviously, kind of the robotic arms and then the metallic blue and stuff like that. But other than that, not really a whole lot same. But in terms of height and size wise, they're similar in height, but you know, Death's Head is definitely more bulky than Death's Head 2. So there we go. And for some additional side-by-side comparisons, we got some Marvel Legends figures. Here we have the Superior Spider-Man as well as the Astonishing Wolverine. As you can see, quite a big difference between them in terms of size. Let's pull out Iron Fist there. I got like 85th anniversary figures, you know, pretty handy here so we can kind of see size-wise. So let's move them over. Let's move Death's Head over there. Let's get another big guy in there. So we got Scar there, and Scar is much taller than Death's Head. Okay, and final side-by-side comparison here, we have the Unparalleled Universe, the Odious, the Living Curse, 1/12 scale action figure. He is still available on BigBadToyStore.com, so link in the video description below. If you were lucky enough to attend San Diego Comic-Con, the exclusive jumpsuit version of Odious did sell out, so I got mine. As you can see, there's the jumpsuit there by Rebel 10 Customs. So I am very pleased to have that. So hopefully you guys were there for Comic-Con. You guys got to pick up the Odious or pick up Death's Head there. But again, link in the video description for Big Bad Toy Store for him to pre-order. Death's Head, stay tuned for more information on when and where he will become available. Yes, Hasbro Pulse eventually, for sure it will. And I expect fan channels and Amazon to also have Death's Head. So when it is officially announced, when we have dates, I will share links and all of that stuff when the time comes. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so you guys let me know down in the comments below. What do you think of Marvel's Death's Head? What do you think of this figure? Did you get it at Comic-Con? You're just waiting for orders to open up elsewhere? Let me know down in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.